80% of all 911 calls in Indiana now come from cell phone users, and that's creating the need for better technology at dispatch centers across the state. In fact, state lawmakers just increased your 911 service fees to help pay for it.
So we wanted to know if the extra money you spend is really going to your safety. Our 13 Investigates reporter Sandra Chapman shows us how some counties are breaking the rules and how they're getting away with not paying it back.
Staying connected on the go has never been easier, but tracing wireless calls during life or death emergencies is a different story.
911, where's your emergency?
Over 80% of all 911 calls come from a wireless device in Indiana.
Pinpointing those wireless calls and providing text to 911 service require advanced technology. It means the state and dispatch centers are on the hook for costly upgrades. So if you have a phone or device that connects to 911, you're paying for those improvements, whether you want to or not.
There's a fee on your monthly phone bill or your monthly contract bill from your wireless provider or your VoIP provider.
In July, Indiana lawmakers increased the 911 fee from 90 cents to $1 a month. That translates to about $70 million a year collected. The 911 board keeps a portion of the money to pay for a statewide public safety system that redirects wireless 911 calls to the closest dispatcher. Most of the money is handed over to Indiana's 92 counties to cover operational costs at 911 centers. 13 Investigates wanted to see how your fees were being used and uncovered new audits showing nearly $500,000 in questionable expenses over the last 2 years.
It's a very specific list that they can use the money for.
Did you happen to get a description of that?
Under Indiana law, 911 centers can use the money to pay salaries, buy equipment, and cover system maintenance costs for 911. But records obtained by the State Board of Accounts show some counties spending thousands of dollars on expenses not allowed, like county building projects, pest control, rent, and drug testing.
Mistakes are going to be made.
Cass County has been cited 2 years in a row for using the money for drug testing.
They were concerned that we were using this as a screening process for people who weren't currently employed.
Instead of paying the money back, Director Dan McDonald and his auditor submitted this letter 2 years in a row arguing their case.
This is the second time we have been cited for this expenditure. Once again, if State Board of Accounts feels that it is not necessary to drug test their employees for the safety and accountability of the service, then I'm not sure I want them answering my 911 call.
We take safety extremely seriously here. We do believe that this is something that maintains the quality and integrity of our department.
The 911 board agreed. No reimbursements for drug testing are now required as long as the tests are for current employees. But Cass County is still ordered to pay back $10,000 put into a county building fund.
Integrity is an important issue in public safety. Integrity does not mean we don't make mistakes. Integrity means that we handle them properly when we do.
The largest questionable expense state auditors tracked turned up here in Huntington County.
A little over $80,000.
The state says Huntington County used 911 fees to renovate the 911 center at the jail.
We were not allowed on the second floor to show you how the money was spent, but it's clear here in the statewide 911 policy, the distributions cannot be used for vehicles, construction, or renovations.
Huntington County gave the money back. But 13 Investigates has learned more than a half dozen other counties ignored the deadline and failed to reimburse their 911 accounts for ineligible spending in 2013. What's more troubling, according to Indiana law, no one can make them.
There is not a penalty provision, if you will, in the statute.
Is that a problem?
The board's legal authority does not exceed anything beyond you have to repay that money. So until the General Assembly provides another option, there's not much that we can do.
But the state will keep collecting your fees each month and handing over millions of dollars to the counties, offering reassurance that the majority of it is being spent well and by the rules.
Indiana has the largest deployment of text to 911 in the country. We know that we're receiving networks that are cutting-edge technology.
Timeout 1,200 hours.
Lawmakers will allow the 911 board to collect the $1 fee for the next 5 years. The board says some of that money will help them set up 2 identical networks across the state to prevent gaps during times of disaster emergencies. Back to you.